What's going on, everybody? Victor here with a brand new video, and it's only fitting to talk about the current main event that just took place a couple days ago, last Saturday, from UFC Las Vegas and the AFC and the UFC Apex facility. I'm talking about Rafael dos Anjos, a legend in the game. He's been with the UFC for more than 10 plus years. Made his UFC debut in 2008. He was the former UFC lightweight champion of the world, former UFC welterweight title challenger, and now future Hall of Famer. He was going up against a new kid on the block. He's been with the UFC since 2019, but he's made a name for himself recently, Rafael Fiziev. And both these individuals are from two different parts of the world. Fiziev being from Central Asia and Dos Anjos being from South America. Both these individuals are on two different sides of the world, and both their careers coming to a collision course which took place this past Saturday. This fight was supposed to be made a couple of times. It fell through a couple of times, but the UFC decided to keep it intact because they knew it was going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be an entertaining one, and boy, was it an entertaining fight. It was back and forth for the majority of the time, but Fiziev, he had more pop, he had more pep in his step, and he had more energy. He was moving around more fluently. I'm not gonna lie, Rafael dos Santos did look good as well. He was able to hurt Fiziev once or twice, but Fiziev kept on moving. He kept on defending the takedowns beautifully, even though he did get taken down 2 times in the fight. But he used the wizard beautifully to get back up on his feet to defend the takedowns. He was able to utilize those underhooks and the overhooks again in the clinch in order to prevent those takedowns from RDA, and RDA just kept on pouring pressure, and so did Fiziev as well, which is why both these individuals kept on meeting in the middle of the octagon, kept on exchanging. But Fiziev is just his combinations and this leg strikes, whether it was leg kicks to the calf, leg kicks to the body, leg kicks to the head. You know, he was just diverse with his striking and the combinations to the body, head. I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. And he always kept on mixing up. He didn't really just pop 1 or 2 strikes. It was either 3 strikes or 4 strikes, and he would get in and get out. He was elusive during the majority of the fight. He kept on pouring the pressure, and he kept on answering to every single strike that Rafael dos Anjos had to give him. And Rafael dos Anjos, even though he was a little bit of a slower fighter, he didn't give in for the majority of the fight. He kept on going forward, and he kept on trying to get the takedowns, but the takedowns were really hard because Fiziev's takedown defense was on point that night, even though that Fiziev was able to defend the majority of them. But even though Fiziev got taken down a couple of times by RDA, he was able to get back on his feet and restart, reset, and get back into her groove again. And the thing that impressed me about Fiziev was his cardio. Obviously, he's had a lot of fights in the UFC so far. His first fight in the UFC was TKO loss against Magomed Mustafayev, and ever since then he's racked off 6 straight wins. He ended up beating Mark DeCasey, which was the first fight that really caught my eye on Rafael Fiziev. He fought Bobby Green, he fought Renato Moicano, he fought Brad Riddell, and now with his current win against RDA, he's been fighting straight killers in the 155-pound division, making his way up. But RDA was no easy task, and it took everything that Fiziev had to get him out of there in that 5th round. It might have been an early stoppage in the eyes of a lot of people, but it was a stoppage. He won the fight. A win is a win, and now he's moving up in the ladder of the 155-pound division. But like I said, RDA, he's a legend. He's faced killers. He's faced multiple former champions. Tony Ferguson, former interim 155-pound champion. Colby Covington, former interim 170-pound champion. Khabib Nurmagomedov, former but never lost the belt 155-pound champion, retired with the belt. He ended up fighting Kamaru Usman, who's the current UFC welterweight champion of the world. Leon Edwards, the current welterweight title challenger and #1 contender for the UFC welterweight championship of the world. He's done really well in 2 separate divisions in the UFC, so he's gained all the accolades for a reason because of all the body of work that he's put in ever since coming into the UFC in 2008. And just knowing the fact that he's still in the UFC, still in the toughest promotion in the whole entire world for 10 plus years, is the testament not only to RDA but also to his career as well. And Fiziev being able to finish RDA, who's not easy to finish whatsoever. And RDA, when he was in welterweight, he didn't get finished by Colby Covington. He didn't get finished by Kamaru Usman. He didn't get finished by Leon Edwards. Some of the toughest guys in that 170-pound division. He didn't get finished by Tony Ferguson. He didn't get finished by Khabib. He didn't get finished by the majority of these guys that we're talking about in this 155-pound division, which is the most stacked in the world right now. And for Fiziev to come in and finish him in the 5th round before stoppage time, it's just a testament to Fiziev as well. He's had a great career in the UFC so far. And with everything that he was able to demonstrate, the takedown defense, the combination with the strikes, the clinch work, and just the work from the body to the head and from the head to the body was just fantastic. And the movement was on point. And not just the body movement, but the footwork as well. Footwork is always going to be vital in the fight game, because if you have good footwork, just ask Dominic Cruz and ask other fighters as well, have been able to master the footwork. They've gone on to have great careers in the UFC and become champions as well. And Fiziev, he's one step closer to becoming a champion. And there's one individual that I'd like to see him fight in the 155-pound division, because the majority of these guys are kind of busy but not busy at the same time. You got Dustin Poirier, looks like he's going to end up fighting Michael Chandler because of some beef that both these two individuals have later on in the future. You also have Islam Makhachev, who's trying to vie for a title shot against Charles Oliveira, but it looks like the UFC is probably going to pit him up against Beneil Dariush in the near future. So those are 4 fighters that are currently going to have fights in the near future, depending on what happens. And now you have Fiziev, and he's looking for an opportunity. And the only fighter that I see left in that top 5 is ranked number 3 right now, and his name is Justin Gaethje. This would be an amazing fight for both these individuals. Both these guys don't like to wrestle. Both these guys like to stand on the feet. Both these guys like to stand and bang. Both these guys like to box. Both these guys love to kickbox. Both these guys love to use their feet for damage, their legs. Justin Gaethje is one of the most masterful fighters when it comes to the calf kick. He deals a lot of damage using that technique. And Fiziev, he can not only throw just the calf kick, but some beautiful body kicks and beautiful leg kicks as well. And I remember when he ended up knocking out Renato Moicano with a brutal leg kick and finishing it off with some ground and pound. That was another fight that really woke a lot of people up when it came to the talent of Rafael Fiziev. He fights over in Tiger Muay Thai all the way on the other side of the world in Phuket, Thailand. And he was and used to be the head striking coach of Peter Yan, the former UFC bantamweight champion of the world. Like I said, Rafael Fiziev has a lot of accolades behind him in his whole entire career. Even before getting into the UFC, he's 12-1. Only lost his UFC debut, and he's only getting better and better. But if he fights Justin Gaethje, he's definitely not going to have that much to worry about when it comes to the wrestling. Both these individuals are going to stay on the feet the whole entire time. They're just going to exchange blows until one of these fighters goes out or until the final bell rings. And a lot of people are definitely going to like this fight, and it's definitely got to be a 5-round fight. The only reason why I believe Justin Gaethje is deserving of this matchup is because he cannot fight for a title. Again, he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. 2 of those 3 fights were title fights, and he used to be the UFC interim lightweight champion of the world. So he's already been in 3 title fights in his UFC career, and I don't believe the UFC is going to give him another one anytime soon unless he fights someone in the top 10. It doesn't look like he's going to fight someone in the top 5 anytime soon, so it makes sense they give him Rafael Fiziev, who's going to jump in to pretty close to the top 5, but is not going to get into the top 5 just yet. I believe he's going to be ranked number 8, number 7 come tomorrow and Tuesday when the UFC usually updates their rankings. And Fiziev, like I said, he's put in a lot of work. Justin Gaethje has put in a lot of work. Both these individuals want to get to the title picture. Justin Gaethje wants that 4th title fight. That way he can be able to become an undisputed champion of the world, not just an interim champion, because that's just a fabricated title that he believes is not a real one. He wants to become the real deal unified champion of the world in the lightweight division of the UFC. And Rafael Fiziev wants to become a champion. He wants to be the first champion in his region to be able to get a title in the UFC, in the top promotion in the whole entire world of mixed martial arts. And if he continues to work on the cardio, if he continues to work on the striking, if he continues to work on the wrestling, if he can add some wrestling in to his game plan, if he can work some wrestling into his arsenal, then he will be a complete mixed martial artist. And we haven't been able to see the jiu-jitsu accolades of Rafael Fiziev at all, and we've barely been able to see the jiu-jitsu accolades of Justin Gaethje, which I believe is non-existent as of this point so far either. So, like I said, if both these individuals collide, which it definitely looks like it's going to happen, then I believe this fight will definitely go down by the end of this year, if not the first quarter of 2023, and that fight will basically depend on who's going to be in that top 5. If Justin Gaethje loses, he's going to be kicked out of the top 5. If Rafael Fiziev wins, insert him into the top 5. Most likely a shot at the title for his next fight after that, or one more fight until he gets to the UFC 155-pound title. And as of right now, we do not know who the champion is going to be at that time, whether it's going to be Islam Makhachev, whether it's going to be the current champion, who I believe is still the champion because he got screwed over by the scales, Charles do Bronx Oliveira. But it's going to be a fun ride. And if this fight really does happen for Rafael Fiziev, definitely going to be happy for him because he's gone all over the world to train, over at Tiger Muay Thai, Phuket, Thailand, all the way to South Florida, over at Sanford MMA, who's changed his name again. You know, Sanford MMA, Hard Knocks 365. That gym's been changing names left and right. But besides that, Rafael Fiziev, great fighter. Congratulate him. He put on one heck of a performance. Rafael dos Anjos, hopefully he can be able to come back better and stronger than ever and rack off a couple wins before he retires. Like I said, he's been in the UFC since 2008. We are currently in 2022 right now. So that's 14 years that he's been with the UFC. Absolutely amazing career that he's had so far. Can't wait to see what happens for both these fighters. But Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje by the end of this year, or first quarter of 2023, is what I would like to see. Both these individuals would definitely love to fight each other, and hopefully the UFC will be able to listen in or even come up with that idea and be able to make that fight happen in the very near future. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. What do you guys think? What did you guys think about Rafael Fiziev's performance against Rafael dos Anjos? Like I said, former UFC lightweight champion of the world, former UFC welterweight title challenger as well, and an absolute legend in the sport. How'd you guys think that Fiziev did in this first 5-round fight in the UFC? And who do you guys think that Rafael Fiziev should fight next? Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Comment, like, subscribe, do your whole thing. Appreciate you guys. Take it easy, stay safe, and stay blessed. Later.